Welcome back to another episode of The Asylum with Harley and Joker. Guys, we are back after a long break, and we have new things coming for you guys this year. As you can see, we have someone new joining The Asylum. Let's give a warm welcome to Aaron.
Hey, everybody.
What up?
So, Aaron, you want to tell them about yourself before we start our show today?
Sure. I've been doing a lot of stuff online for the last, 10 or 15 years. I worked with Comic Booked, which was a website that was around for about 10 years. We still have a YouTube channel, a lot of content on there. Right now, I just do stuff on Whatnot periodically, and I'm working on kind of ramping back up that YouTube channel. But now I'm working with Harley and Joker, and also working with the Mod Squad Network on some of their other stuff. We're going to be doing the Walking Dead Maniacs starting up. We started up last week, so that's another new fun thing. But I love movies, comics, games, toys, all that stuff, and the true crime stuff is very interesting to me. So I love horror, so that's a big draw. So I'm really excited to be part of this.
We've got a lot of true crime and horror with the Asylum.
And actually, okay, if you like horror, remind me to talk to you after the show for a second. But yeah.
Sure.
And we do some paranormal in here every once in a while too, because Joker's with his big paranormal.
We don't do it too often though, because I don't need people stealing my shit.
Yeah, we don't do it too often. But we do brackets, which you were a part of one of our brackets, and we do have a bracket coming up. What is it, the comedy one?
That's not till February. We just think.
Well, it's still.
We decide what that's. Yeah, the 96 comedies bracket part 1 is coming in February. We need to decide what our January bracket's going to be.
We will decide.
I watched half of those. I watched half of those. It was hard to find some of those movies.
It did, yeah. Trust me, I got like 8 of them I couldn't find, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so tonight's episode, we are talking about the tragic wife swap family murders. And I have a short clip of that explains it. And from what I've watched earlier of this, it's interesting, considering it's not who you thought it was that murdered the family. Okay.
No one saw coming, except it's possible someone did see it coming, someone who had an odd connection to the family. In June 2017, Jacob Stockdale, then 25, fatally shot his mother and younger brother at the family's home. This was years after the Stockdales had appeared on season 4 of the popular TV show Wife Swap. Per BuzzFeed, the premise of Wife Swap is simple. For 2 weeks, 2 families with different backgrounds switch wives. The Mirror states that Stockdale was only a teen when he appeared on the show with his parents, Kathy and Timothy, and his brothers, Calvin, Charles, and James. The Stockdales, who were devout Christians from Ohio, switched with the Tonkovics, a laid-back liberal family from Illinois. The Midwest Crime Files writes that the 2 families were extraordinarily different from each other. While the Tonkovics were mellow and flexible, the Stockdales were not. In fact, Lori Tonkovic, the woman who swapped with Stockdale's mother, stated that the Stockdale children were treated like slaves.
You know, this is like they're slaves.
She added that they did not know how to let go and enjoy being kids. The 2008 Wife Swap episode shows just how strict the Stockdales were. According to Yahoo, the family lived in seclusion on a farm in order to protect the boys from what they believed to be negative influences. Moreover, they were not allowed to have friends, and the kids had to work to earn tokens to get access to simple items such as a radio. They were also not allowed to date anyone. Another article from People reports that television, video games, and curse words were all banned from the household. News 5 Cleveland reports that Timothy, Calvin, Charles, James, and Jacob performed together under the name of the Stockdale family band. The Netline describes it as being a bluegrass group. Jacob played the fiddle, while his brother James was on bass. Additionally, older brothers Calvin played the banjo and Charles played the mandolin. And Timothy, the family's dad, was on guitar. As for Kathy, her role was managing the band and booking their shows. According to the Columbus Dispatch, Jacob learned how to play the fiddle when he was 7, and the family began performing in 2004 when he was 12 years old. The Stockdales reportedly toured around Ohio and the United States. Eventually, Calvin and Charles left the band when they moved out of their hometown. Nonetheless, Jacob, James, and Timothy continued to perform. On their now defunct band website, Jacob was described as the man in the middle who sees the important things. He went on to win a series of awards for his musicianship, including the Ohio Grand Fiddle Championship in 2012. Moreover, Saving Country Music writes that the Stockdale family band won several contests throughout the years and have released a few albums. Prior to the June 2017 killings, the band had performed only days before and had several summer concerts scheduled. Per the Columbus Dispatch, those who knew the family and fans were taken aback by the murders and stated that they never saw it coming. They could not comprehend why Jacob chose violence. Jacob Stockdale was charged with the murder of his mother Kathy and youngest brother James in 2018. According to People, authorities believe he shot them before turning the gun on himself. His father and older brothers were not home at the time. Per the Midwest Crime Files, this was the first time police had ever been called to the family home, and Jacob had never been in legal trouble prior to the killings. Shortly after the murders, Timothy released a statement saying that his wife Kathy was a wonderful mother and a devoted Christian. The Daily Mail states that Jacob spent much of the year after the murders recovering from his self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head with support from his remaining family members. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, and the grand jury decided to not apply the death penalty to his case. Jacob was later found to be sane at the time of the murders and competent to stand trial. TMZ reports that he tried to escape twice from a mental hospital ahead of his trial. Nonetheless, Jacob was sentenced to 30 years in prison in 2021. Although a motive has not been released, Lori Tonkovic said she believes Stockdale's strict upbringing caused him to snap. She later said that the children had no free will and that Stockdale believed he would be going to hell after Tonkovic allowed him to have a little freedom.
Once again, religion ruins children.
The bias in the reporting on this and every one of the videos that I've seen is ridiculous. I will tell you that right off. I got so frustrated with the first one I watched. For one thing, I'm sorry, this is just my take on this, but the Tonkovic lady, she spent 2 weeks with this family, and then she's like, "I know what I have my own." I'm like, what? How is your opinion from 9 years ago relevant at all in this situation? First. And then she wants to say, well, she has no rules for her family whatsoever. She lets them do whatever they want. And she goes to a family that has structure and rules. If you think about this family had, they were homeschooled their kids, which is very difficult. 4 boys, another thing, family farm, and a band. So this woman had a ton of stuff to manage. Now later on, it was reported that she did have OCD and that she was diagnosed with severe OCD, which would have contributed to a lot of the stricture around the rules with the kids. But the whole idea that that structure contributed to this boy's mental issues, I don't know. I feel that's kind of ridiculous because the kid was a genius. At 7 years old, he started playing the fiddle, and he had mastered it by 12 years old. You can see the level of genius that always comes with some sort of mental trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that throughout history, and every major genius always has some kind of mental issues. So if that's not dealt with and that's not treated, you try to treat everything in the family, and you don't allow them to go out and see a therapist or do that kind of stuff. You've got that kind of thing contributing to who knows what other kind of problems. So we don't know what happened in the 9-year stint between the show, the 2 weeks of life that we actually saw, and the event. What other things may have impacted this? Was he 25 years old? So anyway, that's my rant ended. Sorry.
You're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. And I have one insight and one conspiracy theory here. I mean, the insight is they didn't allow these kids were homeschooled. They didn't go to public school, so he could never get noticed by a counselor or anything similar at school. And like they didn't say to the parents like this boy's a problem. Like if they went to public school, this might have been caught ahead of time, and they might have been able to fix it before it got to this point. My conspiracy theory is the boy played fiddle. Who plays fiddle? The devil. So maybe he made a deal of some kind. Maybe he was demonic. Who the fuck knows?
And that was all here in Ohio, so that makes it kind of crazy.
3, it's Ohio. Fuck Ohio.
You need to be nice.
Hey,
I'm in Ohio. Thank you.
I'm from Ohio, so better watch out.
I know multiple people from Ohio, and I love them all. Love you, Lisa and Phil. But yeah, I mean, it's Ohio. What
Well,
can I
okay,
say?
so they interviewed the mother, and she's like, "We don't allow cussing. Um, Dating is a sin. It's like getting pregnant. It's just as bad as getting
Wait a minute.
pregnant."
Did he kill his
Well,
mother?
she said there were
He killed the
dangers related
mother.
to dating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
and
like
the
getting
youngest
pregnant.
brother.
He
He
killed the
killed the
mother
mother.
Yeah,
and the brother.
Okay, I don't blame him for
youngest
killing
brother.
the mother. Killing the mother should be shouldn't even be a crime. It should be a fucking thank you, Lord. That helps the world out. But killing the brother, that's kind of sad.
I mean, she
Yeah,
and
I think he
some
was just home. That was kind of the situation. Was like he went to kill the mom, and the brother was there, so it was just
yeah.
kind of like both of those things happened because they found them both in the same room when they
Oh,
found the
so
body.
it was a disposal witnesses type of thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah, well,
And
I can't blame him. I can't blame him then.
like
Free
on
this motherfucker.
some aspects, if you want to think about it, what she was doing besides sheltering her children, she was kind of it was kind of a form of abuse where she didn't let him have like
It's
the video I
100%
watched
abuse.
earlier, where they interviewed them. She said, well, the father said, well, we moved into this new area and we heard gunshots and thought, oh, we're in the right place.
What?
that was before they moved. They had lived in
Yeah,
another area. They heard gunshots, and they moved, and they were like, okay, now we're in the right place. Like we get out of that place. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so they move out into the middle of nowhere.
See,
And
this is why I hated that show, White Swap. I really did. I used to watch the celebrity version. I used to watch celebrity version because it was celebrities, and there's actually people I might actually give a shit about. But like White Swap, the regular one, like who the fuck watches that trash?
That's
hey,
like 90 Day
Jeremy,
Oh,
was this
Fiance, and
you?
it's all about the drama.
it,
My
Was
it's
that
it's
you,
yeah,
Jeremy?
was that
Was
I
that
didn't do
you?
nothing. I didn't do nothing. Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah,
Okay. And this is you too?
it posts twice because we're in fucking
Well, one's
two.
from Instagram, and I mean, one's from YouTube, and one's from
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah, it posts twice on its own. I had nothing to do with that.
That's my cousin, Shauna.
What up, gal?
hi Shauna, how are you? Thanks for
That's the
joining.
one who Kevin's like always pronouncing her name wrong on the mod squad on purpose just to mess with her.
Kevin. Kevin is mentally special. We know this.
Oh. But like I watched several different clips of this video, like
I
from
mean,
different perspectives, just to get the
honestly,
like. And I
this
read
mo-
the article about it, and I was like, wow,
this mom
Yeah, the article was
reminds me.
interesting.
This mom reminds me of Carrie's mom. She deserves what she got.
yeah,
Well, and I mean the fact that she because there was one of the videos I think talked about her OCD diagnosis later in life, and I mean that can really contribute to problems with the kids because if the kids don't have that OCD, which you never know, I mean that sometimes it passes down as well. Then who knows what other problems this Jacob had that could have contributed to any of this, and there's a lot of things that we don't know because we don't see. You only see what the 2 weeks worth of life, and then only the
Oh
edited
yeah.
version for drama's sake that Wife Swap shows you, right?
Oh
yeah,
You
yeah. I
only get
mean,
the story from the Tonkovic woman because she wants her 15 minutes of fame back. And so she's just like, "Oh, I've got all the news," and I can't believe her as far as I could throw her, and I don't
oh, I
think I
mean,
could throw her very far. She looked like a big lady. But anyway,
hey, hey,
there's just a lot of
nothing wrong
things
with a
we
big
don't.
lady.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with a
I
big lady,
mean,
well,
there
I'm a
Mom.
was
big guy, so
there was never no motive. There was never a motive revealed, but Lori Tonkovic, the temporary mother, during the episode of Wipes Hop, said she had a theory.
A
Okay,
decade later,
why?
a
Yeah,
fucking decade later.
why he attacked his family members. She said, when I switched the rules, I was going to let them have fun, let them have television, video games, and experience life a little bit. Jacob, that's the boy's name, ran outside crying, she told TMZ. And when I went after him, I asked him what was wrong. He said that his mother and dad would tell him that he was going to burn in hell. God gives you free will, gives you free will. They don't have. Then they weren't allowed to make choices. I think I just got caught up with him.
I mean, the fact that she wants to comment a decade later on a family she spent 2 weeks with, yeah, you're 100% right, Aaron. She's a freaking money hungry whore.
Yeah.
TMZ, she probably didn't even reach out to TMZ. TMZ probably reached out to her and was like, hey, you spent 2 weeks like a decade ago with this family. If we give you some money, will you make a statement, please?
I mean, and like, did you see the picture of the boy?
I mean, he looks like any kid from any horror movie, but yeah, go ahead, show it again.
Oh, I don't
You're
have
talking
it
about
on here.
the current
But
one or the one from before?
the one
Oh,
from,
the current one looks like he's freaking like an army kid. That's what it looks like, but
well,
Well, he's
half
in
of his
prison, so.
face is like smashed in.
Well, they
well,
did
I
a good
mean,
job reconstructing him, though, for sure. I saw the most recent picture of him, and I mean, it looks. You can tell part of his face is kind of caved in a little bit, but he doesn't look like Ass Face from Preacher, you know.
eh. My wife was just watching that show not long ago,
Like
but
half of
It's
his
a great
face
show.
is caved in.
Yeah.
wait a
And
minute, did he try to kill himself like ass face, or was
Yes.
he?
Yeah.
yeah, he
Oh,
did.
Oh, yeah, he did
I
too.
com-
Yeah.
I completely missed that part of the story. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah, he tried to kill himself.
well, I mean, it's better than spending time in prison, but he apparently failed that too. It's like he failed that life. But yeah, I
I
believe
Yeah.
his
mean,
There's a
mother.
lot we don't know on this one, but it is interesting, and I'm sure the rules and restrictions and everything, and just because the parents were using religion against the kids as far as the rules go, doesn't innately make religion bad. It just makes the
no.
parents bad parents. That's
Disagree, but
part right
okay.
Of
there.
how they went about the whole let's force religion on our
Oh,
children and
don't get me started on organized religion, please. It's gonna be a fucking 2 hour show if we do that.
I'm
I do
ready.
that on
Bring it
my
on.
show. I do that enough on my show. I don't need to do it on this show. I fucking hate organized religion.
yeah, Jeremy has very strong opinions on that.
Oh, I don't blame
Makes sense.
me. Blame the Catholic priests and all the fucking money hungry priests in Christianity.
Yeah. Well, that's your problem right there. You start on the Catholic side, that's just going to mess you up no matter what.
Oh no, no,
Exactly.
Any
I was raised a Christian. I throw the Catholic ones in there because everybody knows about them.
any religion built on shame and guilt, Um,
Oh, that's
yeah,
Judaism forward. So you know.
Mm. But I mean, there's a lot to the story that we don't know, but just from everything that I did look up here, like even the Ohio news about there was a lot to do with the religion there.
Uh,
yeah.
I mean,
And the sheriff did state that they were looking into possible motives. They just hadn't revealed anything yet. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
I
I mean,
mean, if
and
you
this happened in 2008.
so this
Right.
is an old ass
Well,
news story.
2012 or no, 2017 was when he did that, right?
Yeah, but it's
2008 was
still
the wife swap episode. Yeah.
Which don't mean shit. I mean, he see the big when you try. My best friend. Well, okay, my best friend not growing up, but my best friend in my 20s. He grew up in a family like this where his father was hardcore Catholic, and his father used to beat the shit out of him and his sisters and brothers, and I saw firsthand like being raised in a house like that and using religion against your kids like that. It creates fucking sociopath and just narcissists like 100%. Like makes them psychotic. And I mean, my best friend would easily admit he was a sociopath. Like he would admit it, and I was like his only friend in the world because of that. Like he had other friends, but he didn't really consider them friends. They just thought they were his friends, but like he just would use them for shit. But it's just sad. Like you could see so many examples in life of religion like that ruining people because of parents trying to abuse it and use it to their advantage.
Sure. Well, not just parents, but the religious
Well,
organization. A lot of times they're focused on control. That's one of the reasons Catholic Church was started in the first place was control. So
I mean,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, the Catholic Church is nothing but controlling the masses since the fucking 1800s, somewhere around there. But
Yeah.
Well, it says following Jacob Stockdale's indictment and arrest in October 2018, Jacob pled guilty by reason of insanity. He spent 2 years in a mental facility, from which he tried to escape twice. He was later found guilty, found to be sane at the time of the wife swap murder. However, and shortly before his trial in May 2021, he pled guilty to killing his mother and brother. He was handed two 15-year sentences, one for each death, and he'll spend 30 years in prison. Today, the family has said little about the murder, but they have asked the judge to uh, approach his case with leniency.
yeah, well, that didn't work. But
Yeah.
yeah, he'll spend the next 30 years instead of worshiping God, he's gonna be worshiping Big Bubba. But whatever. Yeah, I mean, this is a
It
look.
says the wife swap murders stand as a chilling example of the limitations of reality TV shows. Like it claims to give audience intimate views of other people's lives, but when Jacob Stockdale killed his mother and brother, he proved that there's often more to the story than the TV cameras
All
can
right,
see.
all right. The fact that they're calling it the wife swap murder, and B, that they tie so much of it into that one episode of the freaking show, just proves me they're trying
Nine
to
years
make
ago.
news. They're trying to make news, and the fact they're trying to drag wife swap into it is just freaking ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Because it
it's
didn't
another
actually happen on the wife swap. Like this happened
no.
years later
It's a
after it,
decade. It's a
Nine
fucking decade later.
9 years later. Yeah.
Big.
and then
Yeah. That was the
the
thing. It's
mother,
just name
uh,
recognition.
the
They're
one
trying to
that
draw people in.
swapped, the one who swapped wanted to put her 2 cents in so she could get her moment of fame again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Too, you
I
can look
mean,
at these. I mean, if you look at any of these types of shows, the like 90 Day Fiance. My sister has friends who were involved in 90 Day Fiance, and they talked about the fact that you know you get someone from wherever. This was Nigeria, and they come over here, and you spend time with them, and they record everything, and then they edit out things, and then they tell you, okay, in this scene, we want you to be mad at her and we want you to do this. There's one that's like classic from season 2 or 3 where she's over there, I think, and the guy that's talking to her, and she like throws her ice cream at him, and there's a whole big fight, and she storms away. She says that was all staged. So
yeah,
you've got the same kinds of things. They're telling them in this situation we want this to happen, or they're going over here telling somebody one thing, and they're going over here telling somebody else something else, so that they're both angry at each other, and they come into the situation like, I can't believe you did, and then it didn't really happen, but that was what they recorded, and that's what they show because they want ratings. They don't really care about the truth of the situation. They just want the drama. And they want people to come back for the next episode,
yeah.
just like we
Exactly.
do, right?
I mean, but we're thank God we're not reality TV because reality TV.
I was just
I've been
joking,
against.
but yeah,
Yeah, I know, but I've been against reality TV for a long freaking time because it's all fake. The Voice, American Idol, Big
oh
Brother,
yeah,
fucking 90 Day Fiance, Love Island. All these shows are Survivor. Even all these shows are so fucking fake, and the fact that people like create like these cultures around them. I'm like, what is wrong with America that we fucking love these shows so much? Like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, I
Even
would
the
watch.
whole My 1,000 Pound Life or whatever those shows
600
are.
or whatever it is. Yeah,
They're just
Like,
people who like to. They're people who
why?
like to eat. They're people who like to
Like,
eat that want to
okay.
make money.
Okay, so everyone who knows me knows I had gastric bypass last month in November.
I was gonna say it last night. What?
Yeah, last night. Don't I look good for last night? No, last
24
month.
hours, right?
And well, that's how they keep you in the hospital is 24 hours.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I could have
And then
podcasted the
they
day
send you
after.
home. Yeah, I think I actually did the day after. Um,
Oh yeah, you
but
did.
yeah, I think I did the day after I got home from the hospital. And so, but I wasn't ever like that big. And like me myself, I know, like, I'm like, okay, so they're making it seem like it's okay to get that big,
Yeah.
and it's really not health wise, and all of that to be 900 pounds to 1,000 pounds to where you can't even get out of your bed, and they have to take a
No.
crane to get you out of your bed and half of your side of your house off to get you out.
No, I
Yeah.
mean that's
People didn't watch
That's
What's
not
Eating Gilbert Grape,
okay.
you know?
I mean
No.
be being above. I mean, as someone who was above it, being above 400 pounds isn't fucking healthy. It isn't good for anybody. Like even being above 200 pounds technically isn't healthy unless you're like all muscle. But it's just it's no. I mean, it's just not healthy, and it's not okay to perpetrate that. It's okay to live life like that. And
But you
like, oh
can't
my
say
god,
that now because there's so many
oh,
people, the body
I'll say
positivity
it.
group, they will impale you on your own fork if you're not
Let
careful.
the, let them fucking try. I will say it all fucking day. I was one of them. I will say it because I was one of you. It's not
Yeah.
healthy. I
It's it,
never.
it's not, and
Mhm.
to lose that weight is a process, and it's a really hard process because
Oh
I'm
fuck
Yeah.
still
yeah.
going through it. And like since my surgery, I've lost 32 pounds.
That's great.
Oh,
And
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've lost about
My
100. I've
brother
lost
and
about 100
sister,
since.
let's see, okay,
yeah.
so I'm a little over, well, the 18th was a month. So I'm a little over a month. So I'm about 6 weeks. And
The 18th will be too much for you, sweetie, won't it?
well, the 18th of last month of
Oh well,
December.
you're going backwards. It's gonna be the 18th in
Yeah.
13 days.
Okay. Well, the 18th, I'll be 2 months out. Okay. And I've lost a little over 32 pounds in that process. And
Yeah,
for the
it
the
takes time.
people who's on that show who makes it out like it's just simple, like you could
It's
go in and they're going to do this surgery, it's not. You have so much you have to do to even qualify for it.
I mean, it wasn't that hard for
Well,
me, but
not
I
for
mean,
you because you were in the middle of COVID when.
still, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, it just wasn't that the stuff they wanted me to do wasn't hard. I mean, there was no goals or anything. It depends what doctors and what insurance you have, 100%. But
Yeah.
it's just it's not hard to get done. I mean, I'm 100 pounds lighter than I was 3 years ago, whatever the hell I had done. But well, actually, yeah, 2 years ago because it was 2022. But it's just no. I
Hey,
mean,
I've gone
it's
down like 6
Yeah.
pant sizes, so I'm happy with
oh,
that.
Great.
trust me,
That's
trust
great.
me, trust me. I just got free jeans from work like that in sizes I haven't worn since like middle school. So I'm fucking happy as hell. But it's just
So,
Yeah, my
like,
I
brother and
all
my
these
brother and my
people.
sister-in-law both had that done, and they've lost a ton.
Oh,
But
shit.
I
oh
didn't. I've had so much trouble with my weight. I've fought since I was 12 years old with mine, and
yeah,
finally just
same.
buckled down last year in September. And I said I'm doing this. So I got on a weight loss program at work, and I'm down over 50 pounds since September.
Well,
So
That's
there you go,
awesome.
dude. I
yeah.
applaud people who could do it without surgery more than anybody else. Like I mean, I couldn't. I just didn't want to without surgery. Like I was like, fuck it, I'm not exercising. That's for people
Oh
who
no,
I
want
I had the
tried
same.
exercise.
well,
I'm not doing any
I
exercise
actually
yet. Yeah.
tried. I just had underlying conditions that didn't allow me to do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I had so much trouble. I had to the point where I knew I wanted to lose weight, but I just could not. And the Manjaro, the new medication, not a sponsor of the show.
But
I
could be.
did try. Once I started taking that, that helped to curb the appetite, which was really my problem. Because I'd be like, "All right, I can have a salad for dinner." I'd be like, "Boy, I can have a cookie or a little Debbie or something else." Like 10 o'clock at night, I'd still want a snack. And now I'm like, this is amazing. This is the first time in my life where I haven't felt like I need to eat every minute of the day. And it's really
Uh,
that's made the biggest difference for me, along with, the regimen of um, maintaining a decent diet and kind of focusing on protein and away from a lot of the carbs. But yeah, it's a struggle.
yeah,
It's constantly a struggle.
I
It
could, yeah, it is a struggle, and that's why I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it naturally. Like I need to have something that would make me like be like, even if I want cookies, I can eat maybe 5 or 6 and I get full. back in the day, it'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, two boxes of cookies later. Okay, yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yep.
Like, I'm still
I
at the
know. A little
point
bit.
where I eat 4 bites and I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't miss those days.
I can't eat sweets at all or I throw up. No sweets
Uh,
whatsoever.
I don't miss those days,
And the
honestly, after
medication
surgery.
does that for me. That if
Well,
I
I
eat
was
too
on
much, I get sick.
Victoza. I was on Victoza a long time before for weight loss, and it
Hmm.
helped, but it didn't help.
Yep. It's like initially, like I did Ozempic a few years ago, and for that first, 3 or 4 months, it was great. And then it was like my body's like, okay, we know what this is. We can get around it. It's like,
Wait a minute.
great, thanks for adapting, body. What did you
Ozem-
adapt to lose some fat?
Ozempic, is that the shot or is that a pill?
It's a shot.
That's a shot.
All these are
Yeah,
shots.
Mounjaro's a shot too, but
So
Yeah,
is
it's a different type
Victoza.
of med.
They're
Ozempic.
diabetes ones.
No, Ozempic's a shot you put in your stomach, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
all
or
are.
or or thigh or butt. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, okay. I was on. That's what it's called. It was Ozempic. I was on that. My wife and I tried to think of what the hell the one I was on was called the other day, and I'm like, I had no freaking clue. That was like 7, 8 years ago. But yeah,
that's what they're
I was
marketing now with. Weight Watchers is doing that now, where they're like, and you can come in and get the GPT-1 shot, which is basically an Ozempic shot. So
yeah,
it's like they see the value of
no,
some of that stuff too now.
I used to freaking inject myself with
Crazy.
Ozempic every fucking night of the week. It hurt like a motherfucker. But
Well,
yeah,
Ozempic's usually once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
Victoza is every night or every
eh,
day.
all right, maybe it was Victoza then. I don't freaking remember. It was a long time ago. My doctor tried making me go through before, like she sent off in the surgery. Well,
That's
actually, not
what they
before.
did with me too. They
No,
had me
because
take Victoza and
no,
Yeah.
actually, because I was still refusing the surgery at that point. I kept saying I didn't need it, but
Yeah, my brother had to lose like 54 pounds, I think, before they would allow him to
oh,
have the surgery.
they
But he's down,
they
I don't know, 130, 140 since he had it done, and it's amazing. Him and his wife both, they have just done so well on this. And it's been the same thing, it was always a challenge for him, other underlying conditions, things that he just couldn't lose. And so this has been a godsend for him for sure.
no, they never made me lose weight. That was the funny thing. Like there was never like a
yeah, I had
goal.
to
Yeah,
lose weight before the surgery, and then I had to
nope.
see a psychiatrist for several visits, and I had to see a nutritionist, and then I had to see weight management for so many appointments before I could even qualify.
No, I mean, yeah, they made me see a nutritionist like multiple times, but like they literally just said, "You're fat. You're approved." I'm like, "Yay!" But I mean, it's just,
Only everything
it,
was that easy, right?
I mean, it's just no. They made me see a psychologist once, and it's just she was just like, "Okay," she's like, "I'm proving you." She's like, "You're perfectly mentally healthy. You just need to lose weight, you fatty. So go get surgery."
That's
That's
crazy.
good.
No,
Yeah, it's funny how we got onto this.
I know. I'm like, how? I was just thinking, like, how the fuck we go from a
That's how
murder to
these
this?
shows normally end up going. Like, we start talking about one thing and
Yeah.
then it goes to something else. Because I have ADHD, and Jeremy, I tell him he has it, but he swears he doesn't.
I don't have ADHD. I just go down rabbit holes.
Well, we can circle this back around to a news story because there was, I think it was San Diego, just hired their, I think it's the body positivity director in the city of San Diego, a woman who was like a fat positive body activist or whatever you want to call it, to
Why?
be able to help people feel comfortable being fat. And she writes for Forbes. She actually covered the entire cover on one issue. She's like 500 plus pounds, and she goes around and tells people how
There's
healthy it is to be fat.
Jesus.
there's that one woman on TLC. I can't remember her name, but she does like these.
Honey Boo Boo?
No,
Honey
well,
Boo Boo, I was gonna
she
say.
that was the daughter. But no, there was
Oh,
another one
Ma-
who
Mama
like
Bear.
has no, not her. She had this lady has like a dance studio that she does like these workouts and
Oh,
stuff.
Dance Moms?
No, not
The
Dance
woman.
Moms. This lady, she's like really big. She's like 500-600 pounds, and like she's crazy. And she's like, I'm happy in my own skin. I give people props for that, but don't down people for wanting to change, not being like you
When you
because
can't tie your own shoes, when you can't tell what shoes you have on when you stand up,
Like,
you
she
have a
didn't
problem.
know if she was fat or pregnant. Oh, no. Okay, that's like the
But
the 1,000-pound sisters, okay? The red-haired one who was, like, so bedbound, she went to the doctor once and said she hasn't had a period in, like, forever, so she didn't know if she was pregnant or just not fertile. Well, the doctor goes, "Well, do you eat properly?" And she's like, "Yeah." And the doctor's looking at her and she's like, "Really? Do you drink any
well, but
water?"
properly, you.
She's like, "No, I drink a lot of soda." And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I saw that
I
video.
think
Yep.
I think I've seen reels about that. Is that the dumb bitch who said she's allergic to water?
"Yeah."
Oh God.
And
She
drinks
was
like
like,
What?
3 liters of
"I'm allergic
Mountain
to
Dew a day.
water."
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
But
gosh.
she didn't
I
know if she was fat or
You're-
pregnant. Well, okay, let's see. You're
yeah.
overweight, so you're not gonna have a normal menstrual cycle. Let's see. Let's say you're fat, not overweight, and let's stop making it out like it's okay because I'm on TV. I could be this big.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
And now, okay, so she did have the surgery. Her and her sister did, okay, and they lost a lot of weight.
Mhm.
But she's wearing two-piece swimsuits with all that excess skin, and
Yeah.
don't they
I
like
mean,
it
it's fine to be comfortable in your own skin, but you don't have to expose other people to it.
seriously, I mean, nobody wants to see.
that much hanging skin
Yeah.
because she was like the 1,000 pounds, most of it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Jesus Christ. Like you'd think the TV show would pay for them to get the skin surgery too.
Right. Right.
I mean, they paid for the
Yeah.
surgery, so why not pay for the skin removal, especially
I
when
mean,
she's
Yeah.
well, I mean, okay, so the doctor keep like last time they showed a clip of it, her and her sister was going to the doctor, and the doctor made her step on the scale to see if she reached the weight to be able to have the skin removal surgery. And of course she didn't because she's slipping back into old habits.
mm,
Yep.
which me,
That's what
which
happened.
means,
I mean,
which
it's
me,
I
really hard.
remember when.
Even after you have the surgery, you still have the fat person mindset.
I
And
Right.
don't.
you have to retrain your mind to say, no,
I don't. If
Yeah.
if
Some
I
people do. But
if I go to a
when
if
when
I swear to
bariatric
God,
surgery first started, this was like 2000 and oh gosh, 2003, 2002, when they first started doing bariatric surgery, early 2000s, and regularly for people. I remember I was going to Weight Watchers, and with my mom, my sister, my brother, and we're all, I mean, just genetically big people. I'm 6'1", and at that time I was like 300 pounds. I got up, my highest was 426, and I'm down in the like almost 360s now, which is, like the lowest I've been for several years. But at the time, we were going to Weight Watchers every week. We were doing everything we were supposed to do. We were losing. And my mom had taken a bunch of her old fat clothes to Goodwill. Well, she goes to Goodwill, and this lady comes out, and she's like, "Oh, you got a bunch of clothes to donate?" And my mom said, "Yeah, these are the bigger sizes. I lost a bunch of weight, and I want to get rid of the clothes." The lady's like, "Oh, I had the bariatric surgery, but it just didn't work for me." As she's eating a big piece of pizza, sitting there eating this big old piece of pizza, and I'm like, "Well, it didn't work for you because you didn't change your mindset. You did figure out that, okay, now that I have had the surgery, I need to change the way that I eat. You can't continue to eat a box of Little Debbie's and 3 burgers from McDonald's every day, every meal. You just can't." Yeah. Anyway.
exactly.
yeah, I
Jeremy didn't
mean,
go on no rant today.
yeah, I mean, trust me, it's I haven't been to a buffet since my surgery because I know I can't. I know it's to be a waste of money, and I can never go back into the way I used to be. It's just impossible. I would literally kill myself in the process if I tried.
Yeah.
Like my
Once you
stomach would straight up
change,
explode.
once you shift from thinking about food as something that you enjoy to something that you just need to live with, and that's the
Oh,
thing. It's like it's fine. Like my wife and I had our anniversary. What's this? The fifth, 2 days ago. Oh, no, yesterday was the fourth. The second, so a couple days ago. So for our anniversary, I got a couple of little pasta dishes for us, and I got a little cheesecake for us to split. And I can do that, but I can't do that every night, and I can't do that for every meal. But I can do it for special occasions, and know that that's something special, and it's
Well,
not
just the
it's not to
fact
be
that you
done
did
regularly.
the little cheesecake and split it instead of eating the whole thing yourself, that's a
Right.
change there,
Oh,
so
I mean,
Yep.
trust me, you can still enjoy food and love it. I easily will still like it when we can have the money to do it. I will still get a piece of lamb or a piece something like that, something I enjoy immensely. And but I know I'm only gonna be getting a small portion of it that first night. I will eat it for leftovers for 3, 4 fucking days if I can. Like, why not? But I
I know
mean,
Yeah.
I went to Olive Garden with my cousin the other day, and I got the shrimp Alfredo with broccoli instead of pasta. I'm still
Mm,
eating on that.
oh, that's the great thing is
good.
if you actually get something you like at a restaurant, it'll last you like 3 meals.
You can
Yeah.
split it up and meal prep it for work a couple days. That's what I do now.
Yeah.
Hey
That's nice.
Harley, somebody wants to say hi.
Hi there, babies. Hi there,
Mm.
babies. I sent her a lot of baby clothes and some baby stuff. She's a part of the asylum family.
Nice.
Mm.
My youngest son, or is just his girlfriend is pregnant, so I think they're 4 or 5 months along. So that'll be my
Well,
third my
she's
third
part of
grandbaby.
why the asylum has been out the last since like
Ah,
November.
makes
And
sense.
then me having the surgery. And so we both just took the rest of November and all of December off so I could heal and he could help with the baby and his wife can heal.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can see my wife and Harley both had weight loss surgery in a way.
Exactly.
My wife just had no human being taken out of her.
That's a nice way to lose, what, 30 pounds, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it had to be 30, 40 pounds pretty easy loss
Yeah.
between the baby and all the freaking water and all that crap.
All the yuck
Yeah.
up in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. Guys, you can't always believe what goes on reality TV. So if you're like one of those fans that's like hardcore, oh my God, this is real life, we must follow it. No. You're just going to go down a rabbit hole and get stuck in that rabbit hole, and it's going to lead
Especially if
you
you're.
down.
I'm sorry. I scared you. Especially if you're on My 1,000 Pound Life, you're especially gonna get stuck in that rabbit hole. You'll get stuck in any hole.
Oh my gosh,
Well, not
yeah.
a rabbit hole. You wouldn't have fell down that in the first place, but yeah.
Maybe
You
your toe
got
would have.
lost in it. Oh my God. But as you guys can tell, we are in a different area of the insane asylum now. We are no longer in the padded room.
Hey,
We were
hey,
well
hey,
enough to get out of it for now.
hey, no, 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 no. I was just gonna say, just because I didn't threaten anybody with whips or chains or strap-ons yet today, doesn't mean we're not in the pad room still. God damn it,
Well, we're not in it right now. We've been good, so they let us out for a little bit. But that don't guarantee that we won't be put back in the padded
Harley,
room.
my Harlequin, don't lie. You know that we escaped. They didn't let us out. We'll be probably captured and put back in by next week.
We need to figure out a name for Aaron. Since
Um,
I'm Harley and you're Joker.
I am feeling the Mad Hatter. I don't know why.
Okay. As long as I don't have to wear a hat. I'm not a big hat person.
No.
I mean, I actually, Calendar Man.
Gosh. Or what's
He
Captain
could be
Quilt? Is that the
Condiment
other really
Man.
like really awful DC hero or villains?
No,
Condiment.
Calendar Man's a serial killer. Okay, Calendar Man's fucking horrible. Calendar Man's fucking horrible. But Calendar Man's a serial killer who's obsessed with days of the year and holidays.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in some versions of him, not the original version wasn't. It was weird, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the original version of every Batman villain was fucking weird because Batman was a weird comic back in the 40s and 50s. But
Yes, that's true. Even in the '60s, it was all about camp. Yep.
oh yeah. But
It wasn't really till the 70s, like the late 70s, when Batman really started to get darker. And then when McFarlane took over with the
oh
art and
god,
stuff in the early 80s,
Killing
that
Joke.
was a big change. And
Killing
Jim Lee
Joke.
stuff in the 90s for sure.
Killing Joke is when it got dark. Killing Joke is when it got really
Yes.
dark, and it hasn't been the same since. And thank God.
Yep. I voted for Jason Todd to die.
Oh, well, he was a cocky little Robin. He deserved to get his fucking brains bashed
He
in by
should have
Joker.
stayed dead. He should have stayed dead.
Well, we're fans of villains here, so we're not fans of like Robin and Batman.
Yeah. Well, now, of course, Jason Todd came back as a villain, as Red Hood, and then he's kind of become an anti-hero type character now. And I don't know.
It's.
I like
mean,
the Gotham series, how they like oh my gosh, what is the
they.
name of the show?
You mean Titans?
No. One of the
Gotham was
characters was
the one.
on Shameless.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Ian,
the
Joker.
Joker.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love how they made him the Joker for
Yeah.
He's also a Jedi in the Star Wars
Yes,
games. He does a
I
lot of
saw
Right.
shit.
that, and I had to
Yep.
buy the game just because of that. Like, Ian was
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters on Shameless.
Oh yeah, that was a
Nowhere near
great
my.
show.
Yeah, it was a fucking classic show.
I
William
was
H
so
Macy's a
sad when they
god.
took it off the air.
No,
Oh, for 10, what was it? 10 seasons though. That
But
was
it
annoying.
did meet
That was
it
a lot.
it did end,
they did
right?
it did
Yeah.
its time. It's its time. They kept dragging it out. It would have been getting bad. So,
Yeah.
They do that
And
with
we
a
tried.
lot of
We
TV shows. They drag them out, and it's
all right,
like,
yes.
really?
Harley, we're going down another wormhole. So
Okay.
let's cut the cord.
Okay, guys. Well, that does it for this episode of The Asylum with Harley and Joker and Aaron. We will come up with the name for him here soon.
Candamon. I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't mean to make you jump.
Guys, tune in next week. We have a new show coming. And also go comment on our Facebook page and the Facebook group. We are doing a giveaway at the end of the month. Not sure what it is yet, but I'm doing something awesome so we could get more subscribers. So go follow us on YouTube,
It's
Instagram,
Harley's
all of it.
underwear.
What?
I said it's Harley's underwear.
No, it's not Harley's underwear. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we will see you next week. Bye.
Whips are coming. Just saying.